Just on the dating thing as well, I would submit men who invite women out on a date to a bar for drinks are being lazy. Because when I went alcohol-free, I started inviting women out for morning hikes, for a juice, for a walk, daytime dates. And I got so much great feedback.
You see what she really looks like too.
But it made me stand out, right?
Yeah.
The women actually said to me, it's like, wow, this is the first daytime date I've had in like forever.
Yeah.
Because most guys say, oh, would you like to go out for dinner? Would you like to have some drinks? And I just didn't drink. And far from them thinking that I was an alcoholic or I had a drinking problem, I actually got the feedback that they were very impressed with the fact that I was so health conscious and that I was so different.
Right. I will say, though, when I wasn't drinking, and I've done like years off at a time, and I go out with somebody, they automatically assume that there's a version of me that was so out of control that I had to reel in. And I think starting a new relationship with somebody, they fear that you might relapse into that old version of yourself that was so horrible that you had to cut out the most precious poison in the world. You know?
I get that you would have that fear.
Right.
However, if you just bring that same lightheartedness to them like you did to me just now, then he or she, depending on your preference, can just relax.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a big deal. It's our own judgment of ourselves that we're concerned about. And most of us bring that to social situations, whether it's a date or whether it's with our friends. We're so concerned about what people are thinking.
Right.
Whereas what about if you just said, the truth, whatever the truth was. It's like, yeah, I used to drink a lot and that was a different phase of my life and now I don't, and I'm loving living alcohol free, and I don't have any shame or regret about the past, if you don't, of course. And now I'm feeling really confident. It's great and it's amazing. I love this alcohol free lifestyle. The way that you say that now is just so relaxed, as opposed to, oh yeah, earlier version of me was just such a heavy drinker and I was a big sweaty mess and I did all these kind of bad things.
Yeah.
Just let that go and be lighthearted about it.
Yeah. I think what I used to say is that, I did a list of all the pros and the cons of alcohol in my life, and I just found that there were more cons than pros, so I moved forward without it.
Yes.
And I do believe that is true. It's kind of always in the back of my mind of a place I want to get to. And I'm not going to lie, every day I wake up not hungover, which is most days, I'm grateful. You know, I feel like when you know the pain of a hangover, just every day without one is a good day.
Well, you're living a life of appreciation instead of expectation.
Right.
And that's beautiful. And that's been a big shift for me, because when I was drinking, I had expectations, and when they weren't met, I considered that a loss. You know, I thought I'd be here. I thought I'd be further along than this. I thought I'd have more money. I thought I'd be more successful. And then when I stopped drinking, I had that clarity, had focus. I started sleeping well. I lost some weight. I had more energy.
Right.
My mindset became much more positive. And then I started to really live a life of appreciation instead of the expectation. One of the things that I like to do, which might actually increase your gratitude in life, what I do is I do this thing called the Daily 20, which is every morning I write down 20 things that I'm grateful for.
Oh, wow.
Not 3 or 5, that's cute, but 20 things.
I know. It's like I've never heard that. This is like the advanced course on gratitude.
Yeah, but 20 gratitudes, 20 things that you're grateful for every day. Now, what it does is it activates that reticular activating system, the RAS. And so if you are, quote unquote, forcing yourself to think of things that you're grateful for, what ends up happening is that the remainder of the day, you walk around and you start to see more evidence of things to be grateful for.
Yeah.
And those things were always there. You just didn't notice them. But because you forced yourself to write down 20 things that you're grateful
20
for.
20 different things every day.
20 different things every day.
That's hard.
Now you just start to see things that are so beautiful and so amazing in your life. And your mindset increases exponentially to the point where you're just like, wow. And then you see challenges and obstacles as just like, oh, okay, I get to go around this, over this, under this, as opposed to reacting.
Right.
We get to respond instead of react. And life becomes so much easier that way. Yeah.
I do feel like when alcohol is a part of, a big part of anyone's life, it kind of, your vibe, your frequency is a little bit lower, you know, and the way I kind of always described it was a subtle dulling of like my vibrancy. And it doesn't take much alcohol to do that.
No.
And what I'm learning too, because I do things like neurofeedback and even like my continuous glucose monitor, I have all these like data tracking, biohacking systems. A little bit of alcohol, everything's thrown off. It actually disrupts you more than you think it does.
Yes.
It's not subtle at all. It's like my neurofeedback, like all my data is great. Even like I could have like a horrible day. I could even like when I was smoking nicotine, like nothing ruined that chart the way alcohol did.
Yes. Just one seemingly innocent drink a day is enough to destroy white and grey matter in the brain. The headline there is one seemingly innocent drink causes some level of brain degeneration. It absolutely destroys our sleep. And most people are drinking close to bedtime.
Right.
And essentially what they're doing is that they're clocking in for a night's work at a time when the body wants to rest.
Right.
So you've just had this long day, you're ready to rest throughout the night. You now drink wine, vodka, beer, whatever it is. You're now sending your body to another day's work throughout the night. So that means that we don't spend as much time in that deep REM restorative phase of sleep. We wake up in the morning feeling tired and irritable, and then that compromises our quality of life. You're actually better off drinking for breakfast than you are anywhere close to bedtime, because at least then the body will have 16 hours to get rid of the toxins and work all of that poison out of your body,
Totally.
which will then enable you to actually sleep the way that nature intended you to sleep. But when we drink attractively packaged poison anywhere close to bedtime, we're not resting throughout the night. We're working. And that's why we show up tired, lethargic, and foggy the next day.